Hi, welcome to Traveling with John, where I bring you everything that I do as far as related to traveling, um, whether it be cruising, hotels, places that I visit to dine either before or after certain trips. And today we're going to talk about the COVID situation that is ever changing. But I think one thing that is going to remain constant, even though the days that you are allowed to test prior to boarding a cruise ship will change. I think this will be a constant thing that we'll have to do as far as international travel, as far as cruising. And so it's to protect yourself as well as others that are going to be around you. And this prevents you from traveling um, with others not knowing that you're infected. So what I'm going to talk about is the Abbott Binax Now COVID-19 home test, which is this box right here. And so what I'm going to discuss is something that you have to do if you're planning on cruising. Now, if you're planning on traveling and you're needing to board a ship either on a Sunday, you can test on if it's on a Sunday, you can test on a Friday or, you know, Saturday. And you can even test on a Sunday if you are within the area of your cruise destination departure. So with the Navica home test, you have to download the Navica app, and what you can find this in the Play Store or any app shop on your phone or on your computer at home. But each person, because it is a Proctor test, meaning that once you download the app and you enter your information into your account. If it's just yourself, you only need to download the app for yourself, and it's fine. But if you have other members in your family that are cruising with you, each person has to download the app. You can't, pass the phone and and take the test. Just take multiple tests with one phone. Each person will have to, download the app, enter their account information. So when the process starts, um, they're able to identify you. Now, what this does is, you have Abbott has a proctored where they'll give you step by step, and you'll take the test while you're supervised. So it's best to either have a phone stand, or your laptop, or somebody with you to take the test, even though they won't be able to take the test on your actual app. They can assist you. You just let the proctor know that, oh, I'm having someone hold the phone for me while I initiate the test. And so usually they're really, really cool. So I ordered a box of 6. So you scan this barcode once you receive it. And it has clear instructions. It has a swab. This isn't the actual swab, but it has a swab, and it has a card and a solution. And so what you do is, it says do not open, so do not open. But you can take this part off. But you do not open the box. This box is sealed with this security tape. And when you actually take the test, you're going to sign on, and then the proctor will, instruct you step by step, and then he'll tell you when to open this box. You can take this part off, but do not open it. Do not break this seal, because they need to see you have a test that hasn't been tampered with. So what you'll do is you'll open the box. There'll be a card inside that's pretty much looks like a credit card folded in half. So you'll open it up, and then when you're instructed to proceed, you'll take the swab, and then you'll insert it into the nostril, and you don't have to push it all the way up into your nasal cavity, but you are going to put it in, and then you'll do a circular motion about 4 or 5 times, and then you'll take it out, and then you'll take the same swab, because you're only getting one swab, and you'll insert it into the other nostril and do 5 circular motions. And then at this time, you'll take the card, and it has you'll open it up, and it has a slot where you insert this part that you inserted your into your nasal cavity into the slot, and it'll hold it in place. And then at this time, you would need someone to or yourself to take your phone and drop the little test solution that they provide in this box. And it's usually about 5 drops, and you close it up, and then the proctor will tell you, okay, the test has started, and within 15 minutes you will have your results. So the proctor will disappear. You never see the proctor. They always see you. It's one side viewing, so they can see everything that's going on in your camera frame. So and they'll tell you to, if you have to show the card, they'll tell you to angle your camera a certain way so they can see the actual card. But during the time after you've swabbed your nose and you inserted the swab into the card and added the solution and you closed it up, you're going to wait 15 minutes, and they're going to go on to the next customer. But a counter will show up on your phone counting down from 15 minutes to 0. So you can get up, you can do whatever you want, you can do other things. No need to sit in front of the camera and dwell on if you passed or not. You just go do your normal thing, whatever you was doing prior to taking the test. And then at the 15 minutes, you'll come back and you'll click that you're ready to see your results. So the proctor will come on. It'll be a different one because they're handling so many cases, or assisting different customers. So you're not going to have the same person. So you'll come back, and then they'll tell you to hold up the card to the screen, and you can see the result on the card. If it's one line, it'll be negative, and if it's 2 lines, it'll be positive. And the line is like a reddish well, not red, more like a pink color. And so they'll give you your results, and they'll tell you, you have passed or you have not passed. And if you passed, in their system, in the app, it will, list your information, um, stating that you have passed, you tested on this day, and so you can print it up, you can have it on your phone for whenever you head to the cruise terminal to, embark to board the ship. So it's good to have it on your phone, but it's better to have a paper copy, probably even two. And, carry it somewhere on you, on your person. I usually keep mine where I keep my passport and my vaccination status card all in one place. So when you approach the desk and they're asking for different documents, you can have that ready to go. Don't put it in checked luggage. You can have it in your backpack or purse or whatever you're carrying, but make sure it's easily accessible so you're not holding up the line, digging for stuff. So, I just wanted to give you a little bit of informative information on the COVID Abbott home test, Proctor. You can go to your doctor. You can go to like a CVS or Walgreens to take the test. But it's getting better as far as getting appointments. But it's a lot easier for me because I'd rather do this at home and not have to stress about going out, paying money, standing in line, trying to get an appointment in the time frame that I need. What I forgot to mention though, these tests usually run $25 a test, and they usually come in a box of 6, so you're going to spend about $150 plus shipping, so it's going to be about $160, $170. But you have 6 tests. You could take the test whenever, whether you're flying, going international, if you believe you have come down with COVID, you could take these tests whenever you feel the need to. So that's a great thing because you're in home, and if you feel you might have COVID, you could take it at home, find out right there, and then if you are positive, you can quarantine right in your home. You didn't have to risk exposing others while you're out and about trying to, find out if you're officially having COVID. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. Many of you have used it. Some of you have not, but I get asked a lot about what is the main requirement that is necessary to cruise in this day. And I have cruised late last year for 14 days on October 31st of 2021. So I have cruised during this pandemic time and after the reopening, and my cruise was actually one of the first cruise lines, Carnival, to do a 14-day cruise, which really was unheard of because of the reopening. They were trying to only do shorter cruises, 7-8 days or less. So I was fortunate to take this this cruise and experience it, and it was safe, and I had a great time. And I was a little nervous, but I'll share that in other videos that I'll soon be bringing to you. But I want to thank you for joining me today. And I hope I answered your question about testing as far as now And I believe it's going to be this way for the long term until we get an actual cure for COVID. So this will always, I think, be in the cards as far as cruising is concerned and international travel, because it's quick and they want to know your results right away. Usually within 72 hours or less. So thank you for joining me. Remember to like, subscribe. And when I say subscribe, it doesn't cost you a dime. You just, hit the subscribe button on the lower right side of your screen. And you just click the bell to say, personalize whether you like to receive some of the videos, but you can click the receive notifications for all the videos that I put out. And I would greatly appreciate it. And I thank you. The channel is growing. I'm so happy that more people are looking at the videos. I appreciate your time. Have a great day. Hi, welcome to Traveling with John, where I bring you information about travels that I take here and abroad. Today, I got a question for you. What kind of cruiser are you? There's so many different types. They have the people that love to just take short getaways, um, and then there's folks that usually take 5 days to a week, and then there's the folks that takes 2 week cruises and longer, even a year if you're doing the world cruise. So let's talk about a few different cruises. Have you been to Hawaii? Have you been to Hawaii on a cruise? Um, I work for an airline, and when I started with this company, I used to work on the Honolulu, Hawaii flight. And because I worked for an airline, I was able to travel to Hawaii for free, where I would jump seat. So jump seat means that you are part of the flight crew. There's the pilot, the co-pilot, the engineer, and then you would be like that other party that rides with the crew. You're supposed to know basic knowledge, and with the airline company, you test to make sure you're qualified to jump seat. So, with that being said, I worked on the Hawaii flight, and because of my schedule at the time when I first started with this company over 25 years ago, I was able to go to Hawaii probably like 2 or 3 times a week. So I got burned out. So when I finally got married, and many years later, I, was approached about cruising to Hawaii. Now, I've never cruised to Hawaii, but it was a great experience. And the key point to take is it's going to be a long cruise. It's usually a lot of sea days. So most of the trips are 14 days or longer, because it takes a few days to cross from California or the northern states to get to Hawaii. And in the beginning, it's a little rough because you are crossing the ocean, and so there is some waves, but most of these ships are so huge that they can pretty much handle them pretty easily, and so there's very little worry about seasickness and whatnot. But, a lot of people that take these cruises or cruises in general have aids to assist with the preventing seasickness. Sea bands. Sea band is like a band, like kind of like this, and it has a little nub on there that presses on your pressure point, and it's supposed to, remove that feeling of seasickness. There's seasick pills, Dramamine, and what you would find on a ship that helps, that I learned recently, is green apples. Now, I've never been seasick. I'm very fortunate, and I've had some rough weather cruises, but my wife, she gets seasick, and she's been doing good with the sea bands and the other aids. But the green apple, when she learned about that recently, she found that really helps. And this is a tip from crew members on the actual ship. So anyway, the Hawaii cruise, beautiful, great weather, and you're hopping to different islands. And what's great about cruising to Hawaii is you have excursions that they offer on the ship, but I would advise you, because you're in the United States technically, I would advise you to skip booking an excursion on the ship. I usually don't say this because when you go to different foreign lands and you exploring your own, you're at risk of you're just at risk of being in the hands of somebody else. And most of the times the trips you have to travel an hour or two to get to the actual destination of your excursion. But with Hawaii, it's different. It's different because, like I said, it's the United States. It's the United State. It's one of our states. So what I do and what I would recommend is rent a car. Rent a car. Do your own thing. We have so many people that are tech savvy. You can research like where you would like to eat on Yelp. You can look into Yelp reviews for that particular island that you're going to and try some of them spots. What I did is, I went on to Costco Travel. A lot of people have Costco, but you can rent a car from anywhere. Through any method that you normally use to rent your car. And because it's, United States, it's not an issue about, the lanes, what side of the road to drive on, insurance and all that. You're supposed to have insurance anyway. You're going to have to get it to rent a car. But anyway, we rented a car from Costco for each island that we went to, and we did our own thing. It was great. It was so great because we were able to stop where we wanted to, like different beaches, some of the lesser known beaches, but they're all beautiful in Hawaii. So you can get out, get in the water, enjoy yourself. They have plenty of places you can eat along the way on different islands. And pick up food or stop at a store and get your supplies. And because the ships are usually at these islands anywhere from 10 to 24 hours in some cases, you can rent this car and move at your own pace and not spend a lot of money. You're not giving money to the cruise ship for an excursion. Now, if you want to do the luau, if you want to see Pearl Harbor or, any of the historical sites, you can buy these tickets on your own through that actual um, location that you want to visit online. Have your tickets, print them up at home, bring them with you, and when you get your card, you can go there. And you're not on a bus with a bunch of folks. You're with your significant other, your own immediate family. You're having a good time. You're enjoying the weather, and it's like a short family trip on a tropical island. It's great. It's great. So I would recommend you renting your own car. Um, Usually, it's quite simple. When you get to your destination and on one of the Hawaiian islands, get Uber, take Uber or a cab, but it's usually I take Uber. So we take Uber, spend about $10 each way, to pick up the car and drop the car, get the car us back to the ship. But you save so much money, you get to move the way you want to move, eat where you want to eat, see what you want to see. That's my biggest tip for that one. Another type of cruise is the Panama Canal. It's one of my favorites. I love it because it's it's a world landmark. It was man-made. And this cruise is another typical long cruise. It's usually 14 days. And depending on if you're going to take the partial, where you only go through, the locks, partial locks, or you take the entire whole cruise where you're going through all the locks. Now I've done, both. So, but it's a great cruise because you tend to have a more mature crowd. It still can be fun depending on which cruise line you're on, but it's a lot of activities. But there's less of the hard partiers. I like to party. I party. I have a good time, but it's just not overrun with a ton of kids, because a lot of the kids are, they can't, the younger kids, the large families, they can't take that much time off. So, but it's beautiful. You get to hit Costa Rica most of the time, Colombia, and contrary to belief, you can have a safe excursion in Colombia. We stopped in Cartagena, and we were just because we heard so much, we were kind of leery, but we didn't really do too much, but we felt good. We felt safe. Let's just say that. Let's talk about transatlantic. Are you a transatlantic cruiser? Now, I haven't done this, and the reason why I haven't done this is because of the climate with COVID going on. So, and usually transatlantic cruises are, one way. You're either cruising from New York to across the pond, like Europe or whatever, or you're coming back from Europe back to New York. And so you're going to either, because I stay in Northern California, we would have to fly to New York and then, meet the ship in New York and then cruise. And if you have a lot of time, more than 2 weeks, you can do it. But it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of travel because you have to, in my situation, you have to travel from, California to New York, and then you're crossing the Atlantic And then once you get to your destination, several days later, it's a lot of sea days. Um, you're pretty much having to fly back on your own, or paying for another transatlantic to come back. But a lot of people tend to, since they're already over on that side, they make the most of it. They hit all the countries that you can hit, all the sites that you want to take, because they have, a great subway and train, and flights are usually cheaper once you're there. So, if that's something that you have done, uh, put it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of that. Let's talk about another place that I like to cruise to and actually um, fly to, and it's a U.S. territory. Um, Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. We love Puerto Rico. Um, we've cruised out of Puerto Rico, meaning that, we've flown from here to Puerto Rico and then took a cruise from there. 11 days. We've been there quite a few times. But what we typically do, and I would advise this for anyone, spend time in Puerto Rico. There's so much to do. There's so many activities and shopping and oh my, and food and partying and historical that you can do. Usually we would either stay a few days before the trip if we were cruising, and then stay probably a few days after the trip, just because it's such a beautiful place, and the weather is always great. Even if you have rain, it's warm rain, it feels good, it doesn't last for long, then the sun comes back out and then it's hot. So I would recommend cruising out of Puerto Rico to Puerto Rico, staying in Puerto Rico, even if you do it on your own. A lot of the airlines fly to Puerto Rico, and there's a lot of Airbnbs, Verbos, where we tend to stay. The times we went to Puerto Rico, which is probably how many times? Probably about three, 4 times, and we got another trip coming up around this time next year in March. So we're gonna be there for at least 10 days. So we're really gonna do it big, and we're just gonna fly in and stay. So we are really looking forward to this trip, because we love to support the economy, and like I said, it's so many great beaches, it's so many great places to eat, and so we usually, like I said, stay at a hotel in this situation. Last few times we stayed at the Hyatt House. Beautiful room, spacious. I mean, just so close to the beach and old San Juan and all the tourist attractions. This time we're staying at the Hyatt Place, which the last time we were there, it was almost completed. It's completed now because it's been at least 3-4 years since we've been to Puerto Rico. So we're looking forward to staying at the Hyatt Place, because this is actually, I want to say, across the street from the Hyatt House. It's that close. It's that close. So yeah, there's so many different options. But what kind of cruiser are you? And what trips would you take? What sounds fun to you? There's so much. Just get out um, and travel and enjoy it. Even though this is like a difficult time, you gotta live. You cannot be sheltered in your bubble. You need to live, explore life, do things that you used to enjoy doing before we've, you know, hit this pandemic. So remember to like, subscribe, share. Thank you for taking this time out. And you can leave your comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, see you later. Happy cruising, happy traveling.